amazing. The Michael Decon program. Is the embassy?
And welcome back for another live edition of the Michael Decon program. I hope you're ready for round two. Yes, the second dose of the Michael Decon program. Rejoice, we've done it again. If you could imagine, not completely unscathed by the way, if you were here last night, there's a little bit of turbulence here on the JW tubes. Certain violations may or may not have happened last night, and the previous episode was already yanked by the cyber gods that are YouTube. Yes, but we're back regardless, and always nice to see all of you out there. And I am not alone, by the way. I will be joined by the great Wehunt. He has returned. Back by popular demand. We love Vaughn here on the program. It's always nice to have him here, and of course you know him from the legendary and infamous Wehunt Pirate Radio Show. Yes. Absolutely, yes, let's turn this off already. Let's turn this off and go to Wehunt, who is patiently waiting. Vaughn, are you alive?
Michael, great to be on your show again. It's a pleasure and an honor. God, the Michael Decon program reigns supreme over the YouTube internet airwaves. Here we are again, my friend. Love it. Just love it, man.
Could you believe that? We're back.
We are back. Damn right.
Back in this bitch.
Exactly.
Back in the mix here with all the nappy-headed hoes out there.
Oh, no doubt.
All the nappy-headed hoes, Vaughn.
Yes. They're out there in the millions. They love your show.
Yes, we love the nappy-headed hoes. And by the way, everyone is free to call in, by the way. This is a call-in show every time we do it live. That means you can call in. You can get involved if you'd like. You can get invited, which I'm doing right now. You listening at home, on your cell phones, in the car, wherever the hell you are more than welcome to call in. That number's 424-666-2717. So, Vaughn, I got the old number back, by the way, for old time's sake.
I noticed that. Nice touch there with the 666.
Absolutely.
And like I said earlier, man, your graphic theme is fantastic. That's the state of the union right now, I think.
It could be. It could be, yes. These nice gentlemen spying, causing trouble. I mean, we won't name who they are, but I think you know who the cursed ones are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They held allegiance to Bibi over there in Tel Aviv. And, well, they just want a surveillance state for America. They want us to live in the matrix. You know, they are our greatest ally.
Of
You should never forget
course.
that.
I would never forget that. I would. How goddamn dare you forget? I would never do that, Vaughn.
Me either. Oh, gotta have our allies, you know?
We do. Where else would
Yeah.
we be if we had no allies on this planet?
No friends, no allies, no country. We'd be just lost, man.
Lost in
Up the creek
space.
without a paddle. Yeah, lost in space.
Man. But Vaughn, my God, I'm glad you are here, Vaughn. It hasn't been that long since you were last here, but I welcome you. Not with open arms, because that would be a little too fancy, you know.
Right. Oh, you're right, Michael. You know what, man? It's always a God, it's a blast being on your show, and it's been about 3 months, I think, maybe
It's been that
longer.
long? Holy moly.
I think it has, and, it's always great getting your invite. I go, "It's a special time in the way." Wow, a Michael Deacon program invite? I'm there, man. I'm there. Oh, yeah. F yeah. We're ready to rock and roll tonight, man.
We really are, and there's so much to talk about, so many things to chat about here with the listeners at home, those that are brave enough to call in. Maybe we'll get somebody to call in. Most likely not, though. It takes a special person to call in. You know that, Vaughn. People are very scared to talk for whatever reason.
Yeah, they are. It's a special kind of a breed that calls into a radio show or an online YouTube show like this, but, we salute you all. We know you have it in you, and, let your freak flag fly, right? Call in, tell us what's on your mind.
Absolutely. Well, just like I did last night, I will start off with the very first question I asked my previous guest. And this will be a very vital question, Vaughn. I mean, this is a showstopper. I hope you're sitting down for this one.
I am.
Oh my God. Here we go. Gay son or lesbian daughter? I must know.
Lesbian daughter,
Man, you're
if I
just
had
like
to
me.
choose.
You're just like
Yep.
me.
Mhm.
Man,
Little
Vaughn.
mo Yeah, can't do the other thing. That's terrible.
That's too much.
That's an abomination against God.
Would you be disappointed?
I would be. Yes, very much so. The lesbian daughter thing is, a little more palpable in our society. Women are always hugging each other and kissing each other. So yeah, I'd have to go with that. And then my thought is I could flip her later and teach her the ways of the world and the ways of our Lord. You know, see what happens.
I'm pretty much on your side. I think it'd be much nicer to have a lesbian daughter than a gay son, possibly.
Yeah, the lesbian daughter thing. Well, at least she'll bring in some hot chicks to the house that maybe you could score on. That are, of course, of legal age. But they always have lots of hot chick friends. Now, most lesbians in my book are not that attractive. You've got your butch, your femme, and I don't really know much about that subculture, but I do know that they always have a hot friend somewhere,
There's
and
always hot
that's what I would
friends,
hone in
yes.
on. Yes,
And you're
yes.
right, that is the reality of a lot of these lesbos, by the way, that not always the nicest out there in terms of the eyes, nice on the eyes, Vaughn.
I agree. Well, they're actually driving a lot of men out of America, which is what they want anyway. So everyone then can be happy because the men can live overseas and cavort with the hot ladies of Peru or other, or Italia, wherever that they're going. I met a guy the other day that's going to Albania, Michael.
Albania.
He's cashing out, moving to Albania. It's off the Adriatic coast. He's 28 and he's leaving America to go live out his dreams and fantasies over there.
Well, good
Wow.
for him. Wow.
Yeah. Wild stuff, man.
Wow. Do you encourage people to leave the country though?
I don't. I don't.
You
I
don't.
I tell them to stay here if you can and make it. I really quiz them on that, and no, he had already made up his mind. He had very good answers for everything. He said he's just broke up with his girlfriend, who was a psycho lady in LA, of course. There's a lot of those. And, he said he's just done. He was just done with the low wage jobs, done with, because over there in Albania, not that I promoted, but he gets you get 82 what's called Lex dollars for every one American dollar. So it's a very handsome exchange rate, my friend.
I would imagine, especially with today's living costs, it's extremely outrageous, and that's one thing that I was hoping would change once this president came to be, but that's not the case. Vaughn, I still see horrible inflation. I still see the high gas prices. The cost of living is pretty ridiculous at this point in time. I thought we were going to get no endless wars, Vaughn. I thought we were going to get all kinds of good things happening, but we've seen quite the opposite here in America.
Yeah, you know what? You got to be frank about it as you are. You're a straight shooter, and so am I. I don't mince any words. We had a guy on the campaign trail that said, "No forever wars. We're not going to do this." And don't get me wrong. I know when you enter the octagon, you know, of the presidency, everything changes, right? And so you might get new intel, and things change in midstream, and that's called history. So we're in this thing. I was against it, but now I'm for it in a weird way because I'm like, well, we've already kicked in the door. I don't like it, but we've kicked in the door and now we're there and now we have to finish the job. We'll never get this chance ever, ever again.
Oh no, Vaughn, have they cunked you?
No, I knew you'd like that. Um, I really, the guy that is in charge. A lot of people still love him, man. He's got a lot of support out there in the hinterlands of America. Yeah,
Well, that's
a lot
true,
of
but
lot of money at
a
play.
lot of people love Richard Ramirez as well, though.
That's true. A lot of money is out there exchanging hands, and you know what? I always say America is a tale of two cities, right? On one hand, you've got if you're in the markets and stuff, man, you're doing
Oh,
great,
you're doing
better
great.
than ever.
Oh yeah.
53,000 in the stock market. Wow. I never thought it would break 20. I was one of those people that said, "Oh, it's never gonna break 20, maybe 25." I look at that thing in the morning, I go, "Holy cow, 53,000 points." And then you got the other half of the country that's has a affordability, can't find work, employers are shedding jobs, the rise of the robots, AI. It's a crazy mixed up world, man.
It really is. It really is. But that's the reality that we're in, Vaughn. A lot of people are very angry with the government and with this sitting president, as you know.
Oh yeah, he's taken some hits, man. Big hits, you know? I mean, the thing that got me this week was, well, it's terrible, but we were talking about it, I know, a long time ago, about a year ago, where we've got the USS Abraham Lincoln, and it's making the news, and, the young sailors and people, they've been on that ship now for, like, what is it, 225 days? Almost a year? I mean, at sea, now at war, no end in sight. There's a wild rumor that one jumped off the, ship, but we have nothing to back it up. It's totally and I just, I back our military totally. I hope they can do well and because 'cause they're probably listening in,
Many of them
and I'm
do,
from
by the way. We do have a
yeah,
lot of active uh, service men and women, by the way.
yeah, and I'm from a military family, and Ove, I hate to say it, but Michael was in another war for Israel. I mean, Israel and Iran have been like mutual enemies for millennia. And here we are in the middle of it yet again, you know?
Absolutely, yep. Right down there yet again. Endless war going on, all in the name of religion, essentially. And people get mad when I bring that up, but that's exactly what it is. It's always been about religion. It's always been a holy war, Vaughn.
Yes, yes. Um, we're doing exactly what Israel wants us to do. Now, I tell people, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's like, Trump says national security interests, blah, blah, blah. But let's face it, it's really who benefits the most.
Well,
I mean, they're 10,000 miles away from us, but they're
well,
in Israel's backyard.
I think you know who's really making the money on all this, Vaughn.
Yeah,
It's pretty obvious.
it is. Sad to say, it really is, and here we are. I mean, Iran is in Israel's backyard, and they wanted us for, for decades to beat them up. America, we're kinda like the what I call it, we're like the big guy on campus who, you know, doesn't wanna admit that he has enemies, okay? As you know, and then Iran says, "Death to America." They've been chanting that for 47 years. They wanted us to hear it. Well, I would tell them, "Well, we fucking heard it, okay? We got you. You heard it, and now we're there. So, enjoy the show, folks.
I
We're
hear
there."
that a lot. I'm not trying to argue with you, by the way. I
Right.
I do agree with what you're saying, but I know some people that are very right wingers. They love saying, well, they chanted death to America, and that their citizens are doing that, by the way, which is true. But here in America, we have politicians that actually yield power, not just citizens chanting death to Iran and death to all these sort of people, by the way, as well. So I just find that a little bit hypocritical, by the way.
Totally.
We're
I'm
doing the
with you,
same
and
shit, by the way.
yeah. Well, we have AIPAC, the biggest lobby, biggest, Jewish lobby. They own all the Congress and the Senate. They'll deny it to the bitter end, but let's face it, as we talked about before, they they run the show up there in DC, and every congressman will smirk and wink, wink, and nod, nod, and they take suitcases full of cash, and so here we are, and it's like, yeah, I just bring that up because it is true that I would tell any country, I don't care if it's Bolivia or Peru or whoever, or Albania, if you keep saying death to America, America's a big country, but eventually it's gonna hear you. It's gonna go, I can make some money off your ass. I can go over there, I can blow up your whole country and cash out, and, I got you loud and clear, buddy." So, there is an inherent danger in that. That's all I'm saying is that eventually America will heed the call, and that's what I think we're doing right now in more
And
ways than
that's true
one.
too. I
Plus,
mean, I don't disagree.
yeah, I mean, if I was the country, would I be out there saying death to no, if I was a
Probably
little
not.
country,
No.
I would shut the F up and we'd have a big party, have a great time. I would be the anti-war country. Let's have a good time, um, and let the world fight itself to death. But,
In a perfect world.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would take America's cash, and I would take everyone's cash. I would promise them nothing, and then we'd blow it on great, great times. Because as you know, my, motto is, "In good times we trust." And so, I would try not to get sucked in to any of this stuff. It's hard to do, but I would really try to keep my country out of it. Kinda like, Spain, World War II with Franco. They were neutral. A lot of people don't know this. They weren't bombed. They weren't invaded. They had some civil war, some civil unrest issues, but they got through the war unscathed. Pretty smart.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
just in general, by the way, I'm just very curious. Will you be voting Republican next term?
Well, it depends. Yeah, I probably will, but we'll see. I mean, there's nobody on the Democrat side that's has very much going on. So would I vote? I probably would because I believe it's the only thing. It's terrible. It's the uniparty. Both parties are really at our throat. I don't really. I mean, I may opt out. Michael will not even vote. I may opt out, man. Thought of
I
that.
might opt out myself, to be honest, Vaughn. I'm not impressed with any political party, to be honest.
None either.
I haven't been
None either.
wowed. I haven't been romanced. I haven't been nothing.
Exactly.
I haven't been wined and dined.
Totally. That's how I feel. I feel that when Trump came in, and now as you know, I'm more of a nationalist in the sense that I'm um, a Republican to me is like a rhino or maybe a conservative Democrat was say 10, 20 years ago. So I'm for the people, a man of the people. I just don't. I think these two parties are they're stabbing us in the back. They're doing nothing for the people, for the country, and I'm for the country. So I liked it when Trump said years ago, "Oh, I want to do my best to keep America out of wars. We don't want all these wars. It bleeds the treasury. He, being a businessman, talked it up big time. I thought, wow, we finally got somebody to look at the numbers here. The ledger. And then what does he do? He goes up there, does an about face. He gets sucked in or co-opted by or cucked by BB. And I wake up to an Iran war that nobody ever wanted. We never wanted. I always said that watch out for those Persians, man. They are an ancient race, ancient country. They've seen Alexander the Great, they've seen the Roman legions, and now they see the American legions, and they're still there thousands of years later, and they're going to be there forever. They've seen us come and go, man. You know.
Absolutely, yes. The machine will continue going forward no matter who we like, dislike. That's just the way it goes, sadly. But yeah, I'm pretty much at that point, Vaughn, where I'm not going to vote for anybody, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, the vice president as well. Big joke, by the way. I would never vote for JD Vance.
Mhm. Actually, as VP, I'll be honest with you, man, he's doing a better job than I thought because he is very good. He's very articulate. Um, he's he's just really pretty good in front of the media. That's all from a pure optics standpoint. I can see why he would run, why the people around him would want him to run against, and it'll be JD Vance against Rubio. And
Oh boy.
watch out, yeah.
Oh, I'm very excited for that one.
It's going to be a great debate. It's going to be that those are going to be fun. This is one election that I may vote, I may opt out, depends, but a lot depends on the next couple of years. To me, I want to see what happens here, and I've voted in every presidential election. I figure why stop now? On one hand, on the other hand, I'm like, what good is it doing? Because I'm voting, doing all the right things, but I'm not getting what I want at the end of the day. And all they tell us, right, in DC is shut up, go in your corner, pay your taxes. You know, you're just a taxpayer, you're an economic unit, and sit back in the marketplace of America while we do all the big stuff here in DC.
By the way, somebody chimed in with, I don't even remember what JD Vance looks like. All I picture is his meme.
That's the best. That's the funniest meme ever. I
It's
love
pretty
that
good.
meme.
It's pretty good.
He's got the permanent afro.
He's
like
he looks
really
very good
fat.
like that, by the way. He should do his hair like that.
He should
Wear a
I think
wig.
he'd get a lot more votes. Yeah, wear a wig on the campaign trail.
You know, if the Republican Party was really smart, if they were really, really smart, Vaughn, they would pay I'm talking like an enormous amount of money. I'm talking Jeffrey Epstein kind of money. And they would hand it over to AOC.
Oh my God.
Imagine if she ran for the Republican Party and she became president.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine? That would be the smartest thing that the Republican Party would ever do, by the way. Many men would vote for her if she ran as a Republican.
I'm afraid so. Yeah.
They
Oh my
would,
God.
night and day, they would be talking about her on all the conservative channels, on the AM dial, on television. All the boomers would love that.
Who would be her running mate, do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably another woman.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, they'll double team America. Sure.
Absolutely.
Nice
And by the way,
tits on that
I don't know if
Very
that's a
nice
real, I
tits.
don't think that's a real photo, by the way. I think that might be AI, but that's a
I
great
love
photo,
AI
though.
when it does this, though. They do a good job of enhancing her bosom.
And that's all that would
Fantastic.
take. Exactly, in the chat room, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's all it would take if they ran with a woman, for president, and she's a hardcore Republican, and she's got a nice set on her. A lot of men would vote for that. It's a done deal.
I think you're right.
As shallow as
Would she
that
come
may
out?
be, but that is the truth, Vaughn. You know it.
I do. would she come out with a like a soft porn video at the same time
Well,
to
then now,
titillate
well, that
America?
is wishful thinking, Vaughn.
Exactly.
But yeah,
You
speaking
have to
of
titillate America.
titillate them, yeah. But speaking of AOC, though, now that she's leaving the ginger husband that she had, she's out there on social media, Vaughn. She's throwing that ass out there. It's a wonderful sight to
Mm.
see. I love it.
She is. Oh man, she's shaking it at every campaign rally. I do too. Keep it up, baby.
I think it's great. I mean,
You know,
she's
there's a
she's doing the right thing.
yeah. She is. I mean, look, America is we're a viral sexual country. We're like a 16-year-old male full of testosterone taking on the world. Team America. And if she plays her cards right, I hate to say it, I don't want to give her too much of my intel, but she could be behind the Oval Office desk, man. I mean, if she plays her cards right
I'm telling you, it
and
it sounds
dumbs it
crazy. It
down,
sounds crazy, but
stop.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree with you. Stop talking policy, this crazy, Democrat, socialist of America crap, and just show more tits and ass, and you'll get more votes. It's that
That's where we
simple.
are in America. I hate to drag it down
We
this
are.
path, but I mean, that's the reality that we're in. And I know a lot of women
Yeah,
won't like what I'm saying. I understand.
it's true.
But, that's just the truth. And I'm telling you, and I said this like 4 years ago, Vaughn, on this program. I was talking to Mike Hideous and I told him, listen, if hypothetically, let's just say this, if Hunter Biden ran for president, I told him he would be immensely successful. Beyond belief. People would love him. People would connect with Hunter Biden. And that's pretty much what you're seeing right now on social media. A lot of people loving Hunter Biden for the past few months now. Now that he's on X, now that he's running wild, I'm seeing the perception, the reception that he's getting. It's tremendous. People love Hunter Biden because they connect to him. You know, he smokes crack. I smoke crack. I sleep with my relatives. He's just like me.
That's right.
I hate to say that, by the way, because I feel a little bit embarrassed, but that's the reality that we live in, by the way. As crazy as that may sound, Vaughn, that's just the truth. So help me, Jesus.
Well, that's what I wrote in the chat room here. America's like the movie Idiocracy now, and we are. And it's like the dumbing down of America. I always told them if you start that, it's going to take root. Be careful what you wish for. And here we are. And now everything has to be dumbed down to its lowest common denominator. Like we're talking, we don't care about the policy. Just shake your tits and ass, AOC on stage, and you might get half the country to vote for you. That magical 51%.
You would, I'm telling you.
She would. She would. And if she's smart, she would shut up about because men don't want to hear about her policies. Hate to burst your bubble, ladies, but we don't care. We don't even know what she's even saying half the time. All they're staring at is her body. And that's the primal caveman. It's in me, it's in you, it's in every guy. We don't because we know they'll change the policies anyway. So why even bother? We don't care about that. I know I don't. My friends don't, you know. Um, and she's not really a policy wonk anyway. Let's be honest. She's a bartender from New York. I mean, come on. I mean, her politics is over bourbon and rum and coke and drunk people talking to her. I
I see
mean,
nothing wrong with any of those things, Vaughn.
I don't
I'm
either.
loving all those things. That sounds great.
Yes, yes. America, I always thought would be a really hilarious protest. Not that I am not into protesting. I'm not. I'm way too busy in my studio as you are,
You're not
and
down to
just
protest, Vaughn.
work and play.
You're not down to go out there in the streets with a gun.
No, God, no,
Nothing like
no.
that.
I would never do that in our surveillance state of today. You'll be on everyone's social media, and it's like walking into a circus. I
I
like to
wouldn't do it
watch
either.
those things myself. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm looking at those things like you are, going, "Wow, check this video out. Check this one out." I like to be that guy. Um, but
Yeah, I'd rather not get
let
shot either.
well, bingo, bingo. Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, they've already proven to us if you get out there in the streets, you speak your mind, right, and you try to change America, or make it better, God forbid, right?
God
They shoot
forbid.
your ass. Look at JFK. Try to make America better, gets shot, you know? You can go right down the list of all those people. Lately, Charlie Kirk, in his own way, and I like Charlie, was trying to make America better for lots. And the thing I always tell folks is I don't care if you love him or hate him. I really don't care. What it is about Charlie is he was really good about just getting back to basics for the young kids who ran astray. Just, church, God, school, get a job, marry, have kids, just basic Americana 101. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. I always told people too that he's putting himself really out there for a Mossad hit. Oh, did I say that? Or just some kind of a, you know, assassination. Because the way America is now, if you're out there, well, they'll listen to you, but then they're plotting to, own your destruction. Hate to say it. It's true.
And yeah, there is a lot to say about that. Yeah, let's dive into Charlie Kirk and the assassination. Now, I'm not saying it happened. No, I'm not saying it didn't happen. A lot of people are up in arms about this. It's still something that's widely debated everywhere amongst people online. You also saw big social influencer type people like Candace Owens and that other gentleman, Andrew Wilson, I believe is his last name. I'm not even sure. I don't really follow those people, to be honest with you. I don't like them. I don't hate them. I just don't really pay attention too much to certain people out there, and they're amongst them. But I know they had a bit of a debate. Some people very, very much on Andrew's side. A lot of people with Candace Owens. I'm not sure if you caught any of that, Vaughn.
I did. I think Candace has got some very interesting points of view she puts out there. I normally don't like you. I don't talk about those other people too much. They're out there and they put out videos, and I find them interesting, nevertheless.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see what's going out there. Good to know that these things are going on. But yes, that was Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson going head to head in a debate about Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. All good stuff, I guess. I mean, if you're into that, but usually debates, they don't really come to any sort of agreement on anything, really. I mean, you're not going to change anyone's point of view. The two people that are debating, they're not just going to side with the other person that day or anything.
Oh yeah, it's entertainment, man. It is. It's all entertainment. Nothing's going to change until we decide it is, right? Like in the movie Animal House. I always tell folks we will decide when we've had enough. We will decide, not them. We will decide. We the people. Right now, America likes. I think, Michael, they love the entertainment. They like the TNA you're putting up there on the screen, and that's where we're at mentally. We're not. America's far, far too busy to have like a second American Revolution or what people talk about. They're just too busy on their phones. Let's be honest. They're too busy with their lives, and so what I see is every presidential election, every decade. If you go back to just start at really 1960 is where I tell folks. You don't have to go back any farther. Just 1960 is where the future and history started. So you roll into JFK, you roll into all the assassinations of the 60s, RFK, etc. You go into disco 70s, you go into new wave 80s, we go into Friends 1990s. GW2 gets in office in 2000. War in Baghdad. Fast forward to the Marxist Obama, and then Trump 1, Trump 2, and here we are. That's the fast forward to the future, right? And so we're just getting. It's not really fatigue. It's just more. I think Americans are like. I hate to use the word bi-curious, but they're just watching the show, man. They're just watching what's happening, get their popcorn out. They laugh about these and things. They go back to punching the clock and walking the dog, and life goes on.
Pretty much. No one really gives
Yeah,
a shit, to be honest with you. The majority out
exactly.
there, very casual about everything, basically. No one's really paying attention.
Exactly. That's when Americans are just far, and I mean that in a truthful, but also kind of a sarcastic way. We're just far too busy. No one's going to pick up their musk. I used to laugh years ago when they said, "Grab your muskets and head to the town square." I heard pundits say that. I said, "No one's going to grab their musket. No one's. It's not in the cards. America. If we had anything like that, everybody would be grabbing their phone when it rang or watching the latest video. We're glued to our phones. I get out there. You get out there, but and with real people and real things. But man, you ever sat back and looked at people and just nobody looks up anymore. I'm always going, hey, get their attention. I need something, waiter, whatever, but everyone's like in their own little world. It's like a virtual world. The Matrix is in people's minds, man. That's what
Well,
I'm
it's all
saying.
done by design, Vaughn. You know that.
Exactly.
There's a reason
They
why it's like
designed
that.
it. Yes, they designed us like that, so we will never do anything in the real physical world, and they love it that way.
Oh yeah, can't get too many people all hyped up, ready to take action. I mean, that would be
Yeah,
dangerous, and I'm not ever going to tell anybody to go out and do anything. By the way, that would be irresponsible. To be completely honest
exactly.
with you, and nobody is dumb enough to go out there and do anything like that, which is good.
Exactly.
The majority,
Right.
not so much, but there's a small percentage that are, they are all the way down to do some really regrettable things.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but, I get their spirit, I get their mentality, but they're just gonna get shot. Let's just face facts. I mean, they're just gonna get sh
Yeah, they're
and
going to get wiped
them
out
inflicting
quick.
it, they're gonna get wiped out, yeah, really quick, and I tell those people once in a while, I would get one that'd call my show and whatnot, and I would just say, "Hey, in my view, these things were all this was set in motion before, well, we were even born, man." I mean, if you were gonna take a stand, really, I mean, seriously take a stand in the streets and do all these great, wonderful things, this should have been done way back in the '50s, probably, '60s, '70s, you're pushing it '70s, man, it's disco era. That's why I say with the music and the design of the smartphone, which they were working on, they knew people would be distracted. And that's what they love is the distractions, the videos, the reels, right? You got to catch the latest thing. And with that alone, they conquered America without firing a shot. They conquered the world
Ain't that
because
great?
nobody has the stamina to do anything.
It's truly amazing what they've done.
It is, and it's all about America loves electronics and electronic gadgets, and I know I do, but
Yeah, we
you and
all
I know when to
do.
get away from our
Yeah.
phone. Yeah, but you can get away, I can get away. I went up to the Northern California this summer. I love walking along the redwoods, love the coast, get out, talk to people, other hikers, etc. Meet, do real things in real time, and then I'll look at my phone later.
Well,
But
that's a thing of the past now.
I know.
People would say, younger generations would say, what's the big deal? I could just see footage on YouTube about X, Y, and Z.
Exactly.
Why would I need to go there?
Exactly. Why do I need to go there? Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. Everything it's people like what they learned about COVID was the beta test, in my view. And their theory was let's see if we can get America to shut down. Okay, I know they thought this. Let's see if we can get Americans to stand 6 feet apart. They were laughing their asses off at these cockamamie ideas that, of course, we saw this in the Dr. Fauci hearings, right? About a month ago or a few weeks ago. And they were just curious to see how far can we push America like a bully into the circus tent and make them perform like circus animals, with the big top and there's cracking the whip and you do this and you do that. I sat back and this is all a big government psyop. It's all a big scam. I ain't taking any death shot. And they've killed millions of people. And they don't, but these are satanic people, as you know, Michael. They don't care about any of us. They think it's funny when people die. They think it's funny when people take their advice. They make movies about it and they put it out there in the propaganda. And America just they suck it up like a big pig, hook, line, and sinker. Oh, well, if the government says so, it must be safe. I mean, that is idiotic. But see, I'm Generation X. We don't trust anybody. We don't like anybody. Just kidding. We just don't trust the government, man, on any of these things. And when I saw millions of Americans, mainly the young kids, millennials, Generation Z, and even older boomers, line up and go, "Wow, this sounds great. Can I get some more? Can I get 10 boosters? Maybe 20?" I was like, "Yeah, we've right there, they won. Right there, they won." And it was so successful. They went, "Oh, this is great. We got death and destruction. America's dumbed down. They'll do anything we say." Oh, there were some people like me and you and you know, some echoes in the echo chamber that weren't to their liking, but we're the true minority. People were thinking, "You're crazy. This is a real pandemic," and we're finding out from Dr. Fauci and all the files, and he was loving the attention and talking to Hollywood celebrities. His name was in the news constantly. He had that Dear Diary. Today, Britney Spears spoke my name and spoke to me very, very highly. Stuff like that. I'm going, dude. I said it's all going to come out, and it's coming out. And there's still more shoes to drop, Michael. That's what I say.
And nothing is going to happen, by the way.
Exactly.
No one's going to get arrested.
Yep.
Just like no one's going to get arrested with the Epstein case.
Yeah. Nothing's going to happen.
No.
It's all a big theater show.
It's all bullshit.
Exactly.
And by the way, like 5 years ago when, things were really hot, I had Dr. Paul Cottrell on this program who was trying to urge people to go and get a gun and go out to the streets. He was saying this, by the way. And I brought it up to him and I told him, I said, listen, you don't really seem the type to actually go and grab a gun and do anything like that, by the way, Paul. And he got livid. He was pissed and he never appeared on this program ever again. He took it personally. Hey, but I was right. He was going to do a goddamn thing. He wanted other people to go do things and incriminate themselves and get themselves thrown in jail. But that was probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard, by the way. He's a small, like, little Jewish guy in New York in a high-rise building, in Manhattan, probably, for all I know.
Yeah.
So come on, you really think that guy's going to go out and do something? Give me a fucking break.
Exactly.
I just thought, come on, man, come on.
You and I both, I never advocate, as you never advocate, anybody to do anything illegal. You've got to, look, now I love all the memes, Spirit of 1776. I love all that stuff, but I also have a sane mind and a rational mind. And I go, look, the time to have done all that stuff was decades ago, before we were even born. And nobody did anything about it. Nobody did. They didn't do jack about it, man. They didn't. So they all pushed it to the future generations. And now the problem is so bad with this surveillance state and the flock cameras and you name it, all the digital this, and they've got data centers now and all kinds of, fusion centers watching what you say. See, the technology has come up while everybody was bitching and moaning. Now it's like we've lost our verve for doing anything, and we're kind of past the point of no return. I hate to say
pretty
it,
much. And
see what happens. Right?
People like Edward Snowden were blowing the whistle many, many moons ago, which is why he's not in America anymore. Some people called him a villain, other people called him a hero, and I thought he was I consider him a patriot, my friend, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah. Well, he's telling us things that were hidden from us, that they were doing all the spying on us, etc. And I am the type that when I was a kid, from a military family, father fought in Korea and Vietnam, I was told by, my scoutmasters were Green Berets in Vietnam, put it that way, okay? And my principal was a Green Beret. Seriously. Dad called in airstrikes there in Vietnam against the commies. And then they all told me, it's all going to come down in your life, son. It's going to come down in your life. So you better suit up and boot up and get ready. Right. And I was like, yeah, I totally get it, man. But what happened along the way was the electronic warfare against America. See, all this stuff that we can't do now because they're going to know you're driving to do whatever you want to do.
Right.
That's terrible. before you even get out of your car. You can't, I mean, it's like, yeah, that's why I always tell people the disco era was probably about, or the '80s were like the last decade. If you were going to do anything as like millions of Americans out there in the streets, but
Yeah, that was the
nobody,
time.
that was the time. '60s was the time, but everybody went hippie.
Yeah,
See,
everybody
so
went
that was
hippie. Everybody had a whole sort of thing going on during that
yeah.
time. So again, they were distracted, just like America is today.
Oh yeah, and now it's even easier to distract millions of Americans. I guarantee you, we're going to find out later that the CIA and other groups they have produced or funded a lot of these videos that we're probably watching.
100%. I blame
Yeah,
social media.
yeah. And Project Mockingbird, which is you know, their intense propaganda with our TV media, etc. That's never been put to rest, by the way.
No, that's
That's
still
never
going
been
on. That's a
stopped. Still
continuous
going on, full
project,
blast.
basically. Yeah, and I mean, again,
Yeah, it's
when we were
yeah.
talking about the alien disclosure and all the UFO stuff, again, I'll reiterate some of the stuff I was talking about, but on the last, many shows ago, I was talking about how some people don't really think it was a big deal or anything, but it was actually for the first time you can see that the government actually lied about the whole UFO thing and all the money they were spending. So, given those sort of facts, you have to consider all the other things that go on behind the scenes that they won't really be shedding any light on for the longest time. Um, Basically, it's to prove that they basically lied to the American people for all these years. Vaughn, that was the silver lining for this sort of UFO disclosure thing that was catching the headlines all over the place like wildfire.
Roswell, man, 1947. From then on, it's been, a lot of sightings. Yeah, they've lied to us about all that. Well, at first it was Cold War. Yeah, I kind of get it. Americans back, I'd say, after World War II, were far more panicky. I think today they'd be way more accepting of it. But you would still have your panicans, that would go nuts, and they would use that as an excuse, grab their gun and blow up a 7-Eleven, God forbid, and they would say, "The aliens made me do it." You have crackpots that would do stuff like that. So, I can kinda see why on one level, America it's a great country, but it's a crazy country, you know?
We're
Um,
full of
I
crazy
would
people here.
we are. I always say I sincerely pity any country that ever decides to invade us. This is the movie script that I'm working on because you'd see every group come out in their own way, their own unique way, and fight against them. It'd be the best movie ever. It's in the planning stages, but I just yeah, I pity them. You would have gangs, you would have my God, Nazis, you'd have the Lesbos come out, you'd have
The Lesbos,
AOCs.
okay.
Yeah, they would be attacking. You'd have AOC squad attacking. I mean, everybody with an axe to grind and an agenda would come out. It'd be just fantastic
There'd
show.
be lots of drones coming out and blowing people out of
Yes.
all over the place. And yes, I've seen.
Zelensky would come out of hiding. He would loan us some of those drones for the Ukraine war. Bibi would, of course, immerse himself and get involved in our thing too, and send over IDF soldiers.
And by the way, Vaughn, in terms of this sort of technology and the future of technology in America, with all the drone footage going on out there that are blowing people up on the Russian side, on the Ukrainian side, but
I've seen those videos.
I've
Yeah.
seen nothing but those videos for the longest time now, watching people get turned to shredded hamburger meat, basically. It's pretty
Yeah.
outrageous stuff, but nothing I would advise anybody to go look up. However,
Mhm.
with all that footage and all that stuff that we're seeing, obviously the Pentagon, they're taking intel from the Ukrainians, which they will use
Yes.
later on. I mean, it's all a big project basically for our government. We're getting all the analytics. We're finding out all kinds of different strategies to use for the next big war that we will be involved in. That's coming down the pike, basically. And technology in these sort of wars is pretty goddamn scary, given the fact that you have drones. You could have all kinds of different size drones do a lot of damage, by the way. And I always think, though, in the back of my mind, when will law enforcement and other sort of government agencies start using that technology on its citizens? Basically, I think that's coming in the future. I mean, we're seeing a little bit right now with law enforcement, but I'm talking about like drones going in there and blowing people into dust, essentially.
Oh my God.
It's coming,
Terrible
Vaughn. You
tragedy.
know it's
I know.
coming.
I know. I do know. And yeah, it's can you imagine they say when the Russian soldier goes to the front or the Ukrainian soldier there, well, the Russian guy's got I think a 48-hour life expectancy. I think the Ukrainian soldier has less, and they've slaughtered 2 million men. And see, it's all on design. It's part of the Greater Israel Project. That's where my cynical mind kicks in. They want to get rid of all the white people over there, and then they'll say, "Well, we need people to rebuild, Michael. We need to rebuild our factories, and let's bring in all the Israelis. See, they have ties to this area, the Ashkenazi Jews. Da, 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 da. They're going to bring them in, and they're already there. There's already videos of them. The new Israeli settlers are moving in." And on the warfare front, like you mentioned, yeah, it's going to change. It's dramatically changed. Even they said it was Rubio who said last week that every 6 months, we have to change our warfare strategies to keep up with the technology in the world. That's an amazing quote. Every
That's a
6
pretty
months.
big statement to make, by the way.
Yeah, he said that, and, I was like I caught that, and I went, "Yeah, that's what w you took the words right out of my mind, man, because that's what's happening." Can you imagine you've lived your whole life, you're a young guy, you're a young buck, you're out there with a
Oof.
rifle, and they go, "Hey, there's the front lines. Go get them, kid. Go get them. Make America great again." Right?
I feel bad for those poor souls, by the way, that get suckered into going
I
off
do
and
too.
enlisting, by
I
the
do
way.
too.
You know, they want to do the right thing. They, in their heart, again, starts
They
off in a
do.
good place, but yeah, that quickly ends going 90 going north, basically.
Well, drone warfare, you're right, has dramatically changed the landscape where you could have a great life up to, say, 22,
Dude, can
and then
you
you're
imagine
wiped
that?
out.
By the way, you're 18, you
Yeah.
go enlist and you're in Iraq, Afghanistan, you're somewhere. And then a drone comes and basically uh, devours everybody you know, including yourself.
The ones that are I mean, I'm a warrior buff like you. I watch this stuff, but I will say that you watch it and you see the young kid, and I feel for him. I really do. I don't of both sides. And there's this drone, and it makes that death hissy noise.
Right.
That zing,
Dude,
and it's real loud. And it's like, yeah,
I'm
it's like the
traumatized by it, Vaughn. I've seen so
that
much footage.
yeah, I have too, and it's really loud on purpose. It's to strike terror in the young guy, and they're running around a car, they're running here, they're running there. The thing I've always wanted to ask is, and maybe they can't do it, why don't you pick up your rifle and try to shoot it out of the sky?
Well, some people have.
And
I've seen some footage of
that's what I
people
would
do
do.
that.
I'd try to shoot it down. I wouldn't sit there and run like like a sheep and get slaughtered. I'd at least give myself a fighting chance. But I've seen those before, and maybe it's just a shock
Yeah,
value.
and I've seen some
And
guys get blown up that way
good,
trying to shoot it too, though. Some were successful, some not so much.
but at least you've got a fighting chance, is what I like.
Yeah.
Give me a chance, and I always seize it, right? So you're right about that, and I just think that it's going to be. That's why what we need to do is have the biggest, baddest, strongest military. I've always said, but don't go to war. That's all. Just don't go to war. Have the biggest military. Have all the guys join. Yeah, recruiting officers. I want them packed. But if I was president, I would try to do this. I would say we're not going to put our blood, men and women, and treasure in harm's way. I don't care. BB, I would deport his ass if he came up to me and bitched about it. We're going to do that's true blue America first. We're not going to fight these no-win wars and just use our army like it's cannon fodder. And I have a high respect. Don't get me wrong for the guys and gals that join up. I'm from a military family. My whole family was in the military and fought in World War II, all that stuff. And I support them. I grew up on Air Force bases, so I went to Air Force school. When I was really a young kid, my principal was a captain. I wore a little blue uniform,
I
so
had no
I
idea.
yeah, I get into that
Wow.
stuff. I mean, I came very close to going in the Air Force. I came, well, almost too close. That or law school. And I said no to both. I went my own way. I just said, "You know what? I'm gonna follow my own truth, whatever that is?" But right now, had I went in, oh, I'd be in some strategic air command ICBM bunker, ready to blast those commies, Michael. And I'm just the guy to do it. Like that movie Doctor Strangelove, that would be me. It would be like, I love that movie. It's so, so cool. But, yeah, it's a whole different world. So in other words, you have the biggest, baddest military, but you don't use it, and you keep everyone at safe. You're too big to, attack, and if they do attack you, you just look, you gotta start America's gotta start stomping out these cockroaches around the world. They are cockroaches, man. Snakes and cockroaches all over the place. We have no friends. Everyone's an enemy. They only want money from us or our blood and our treasure. I've always said that. They don't Israel, they want our blood and our treasure. So their guys don't have to fight, and our guys, the Goyim, will fight. Same thing with any country. I don't care if it's NATO or anybody else. They're all the same. They're all against us in the final analysis.
Well, that's great. That's great. You're giving me a lot of hope here, Vaughn. A lot of hope for
How's
the
that for a
future.
happy ending?
I know. I'm
Well,
like, my God.
I'm a realist.
Now
I'm
I'm
a brutal
depressed.
realist.
Thank you.
Brutal realist, man. There is a way out of this mess. Um, and I always say it's not going to come from DC. Don't look for DC folks to solve any of your problems. All they're going to do is give us more problems. I don't care what party it is. The Uniparty is dead set against us. They're on the take. They love that cash, those shekels pouring in. And look, fine and dandy. We have to do things on our own and be creative. I like, for example, people going out and just doing their own things. Why don't you start your own town? Start your own city. Go out there, buy 1,000 acres, get 20 friends together, start your own town. Be the law. You be the law. You be the local law. That's what I think people are going to start doing. They're going to start banding together more and more of like mind
Well,
and
that's what
doing
I
their own
see
thing.
happening once a big major war goes
Yeah.
down. I could see something like that happen. Let's say hypothetically, if again, not in a perfect world for me, but in a perfect world for those invading, them actually breaching the walls, as they say, the proverbial walls, and actually invading the country. I think we would definitely see small factions here and there fighting off whoever's trying to invade. I could see things like that happening here in America. That'd be pretty nuts.
Wouldn't that be nuts? Well, the fabled Chinese invasion or UN invasion, we could be attacked on the West Coast by the Chinese commies and by the UN globalists on the East Coast. I always say, how we look back, NATO does, and they lick their chops at Russia, right? We're going to carve it up. We're going to grab their minerals. We're going to subjugate their people, right? They always talk about that. Well, newsflash for you, America. There's countries that look at our country and lick their chops. We're going to carve up America. We're going to put people in camps. We've already bought out their Congress, and now we're going to take over without firing a shot. Well, they're kind of doing that, like for example in Dearborn, Michigan, with all the Muslims who are outbreeding the white people of Michigan who've been up there for 500 years. They're just, look. Let's face it: the American women aren't having many babies anymore. They're running to
And
the
why do you
abortion
think
clinic.
that, by the way, these white women? Is it because they are undesirable?
No, there's a lot that I like. There's a lot of desirable women out there. I think a lot of it, not to sound corny, but I think a lot of it really is um, lack of spirituality of any kind. It's not any religion, just lack of spirituality. For example, I know a guy who knows a guy, and then he's an usher, good friend of mine, and he says, "Man, I look around, the church. There's not many young women in here. The young men have gone back to church, but not
But
the
not the
young women.
women.
But not the women. No, you see old people, boomers. You see some young families, You see a lot of young guys, millennials and Generation Z coming in, but there's not a plethora of young women.
Hmm,
Now they may be spiritual, or maybe they're all witches now. Who the hell knows?
maybe.
But that's a separate problem. But it's true that like for example, the
Well, I hear a
you know,
lot of that, by the way. A
yeah,
lot of people on X, on other social media platforms, they usually they're Caucasian, and they say things like, the white race is going down. There's not enough white babies, and I'm just thinking, well, why is that? Is it the lack of good-looking people? Well, what's going on? I mean, usually
well,
the
it's
way
all
nature
yeah.
works, you
Mhm.
find someone good looking, you're probably going to bang them. You probably might have children with them. Who knows? But that's the way it's always worked. Instinctually, doesn't matter what color your skin is. But what is going on with the white race?
Well, it's all part of the agenda. It's all part of the agenda. They don't want the whites to meet up and to date and to have babies. It's all about, interracial now. It's all about gay and this and that. Like we were and trans kids. There's no entity that says, and Trump is the only one that's even done anything with
So,
the
in other
Trump
words, by
account.
the way, hate to interrupt you. So, you're
Yeah.
saying this is the new normal?
Well, this is what they want. They want this to go much, much further. It's all about the breakup of, and it really is true. They've been trying to break up the nuclear family in this country for many generations. This is nothing new. I saw it as a little kid, and I said, "Oh man, they're attacking." And the media is involved. Hollywood's involved. For example, give you a great one. Look at any online print ad. Look at any magazine ad. What do you always see? I'd say 90% of the time you see a black male or a Muslim male now with a white woman. You rarely see a white woman with a white guy, and God forbid if they have a white baby. I mean, you see this a lot. Now, not every ad is like that, but the corporations have devoured it. I sit here and click and go, another one, another one. Okay, I get it, guys. I get it. I get it. You want me to date all these people? I get it. I have nothing wrong with that. I'm an equal opportunity offender. But you
Where
can't
the
help but
white
notice.
women at?
Exactly. You can't help but notice this stuff. And it's out there. And then what I find even funnier is they deny it. Oh no, we're not doing anything. Yes, you are. Come on. You guys control the media, the airwaves, you control the internet, the online ads, the magazine ads, the TV commercials. You control all that stuff. You control who gets hired, who's the actor, who's the actress. And they always love, you know, your gender bending, your
Should we
trans, your
blame the
interracial,
media,
this
by the
and
way,
that.
Bond? Should we blame the media, or should we just blame the, I guess you could say, the citizens of the United States for being ignorant?
I'd blame
Or
both.
is it both,
Yes.
essentially?
It's both essentially. Well, America, I always say they love to be distracted, right? So m my view of the Venezuelan war with Maduro was that's the kind of war that I like. It's a one-day war. You go in, guns a-blazing, Team America, you come down, you grab that dirty, rotten dictator, and you fly him back to the United States for incarceration to sit in front of a federal judge. That's what America likes. Declare victory, get the hell out of there. And so Americans don't like the body bags. We don't like long, protracted crap. It's not in our DNA. We don't like it. So we protest. Look at Vietnam, the 60s. And so this Iran thing it's, um, it's tending to go in that direction. And so
I thought we won
I've
that
always
war,
said,
by the way.
I thought we had, but I'm not so sure now.
I know they keep telling us that, but
He's telling us,
doesn't look
well,
like it.
I find it funny because they go, we decimated their whole economy. Their ships were at the bottom of the Persian Gulf. We've killed all their men, and now we're going in for the final kill. And then Iran comes back the next day, and they're fully functional, and they're firing missiles. And I'm going, look,
What happened, right?
they had a lot more, yeah, in those caves and tunnels than our intelligence thought about or knew. And I hate to say it, but they were, this thing was sold to us as a 3 or 4 day war, like Vlad's Ukraine. They're all special warfare operations, right? And they're not. They're not. They're not a 3 or 4 day war or a 1 day war with Venezuela. They are going to be long, protracted things that they've sold us, and then they can always say, "Well, Michael, we kicked you in the door, and now we have to finish the job, right? And I get it, but I'm like, the strait was open before the war. Okay, newsflash: the oil was flowing before the war. We don't have to like Iran, but it was flowing,
Yeah, everything was
and
fine
so
before the war.
yeah, yeah, that's a little stubborn fact that nobody likes to bring up. Your Fox News, your CNN. I don't care who it is. They all have their own agenda and their thing going. Um, so it's just war is hell, Michael. War is hell.
I mean, it's hard to take a lot of these conservative outlets seriously. It's like it's like going to a website that's, let's say anti-cannabis, basically. And you go in there thinking, you're going to read something positive, and then in reality, it's just all negative, all bad, all the time. There's no use for any of this. It's basically the same thing when you go into any of these media outlets, since they are politically, they're politically biased. They will sort of lie to you about certain things. They won't exactly be honest about the reality of what certain things are.
Exactly. Well, I like one comment here in the chat room. The UN Army is already here. Oh yeah, they're all waiting for their orders, man, and that's why I always tell Americans, yeah, I mean, look, embrace your Constitution, freedom of speech, freedom to own arms. Absolutely. Over in my studio, we have guns everywhere, daggers, all kind of, artifacts of war. Um, but again, this country, people want to carve us up. They're heading us down this path like sheep to slaughter, and very few people see it. But America's far too busy, going to the drive-through at 2 o'clock in the morning when the bars close. Let's face it, they get those good greasy tacos
Well,
and
that's all they
burgers.
want, though, Vaughn. As long as they're back home from work to
That's
watch
right.
their favorite TV show and have their
Right.
favorite TV dinner, all is good, all is gravy.
That's right.
That's most of America, though. That's most of America. That's what they love,
Totally.
and it's going to continue going on till the cows come home, basically. But the surveillance is still going to happen. You're going to have a lot of people say, well, if I'm not doing anything illegal, then why do I have to worry about it? I see nothing wrong. Go ahead and tap all the phones. I'm not doing anything wrong. Go ahead and basically intrude my entire life.
Exactly. And they love that because, this is the TikTok generation, right? They love portraying everything they do on the internet. They just love it. And it's fun to watch. I watch a lot of that stuff. I find I get a kick out of it. Have my favorite characters, some reels that are funny, some that are interesting. But yeah, it's just I hate to say it, but Americans have never had their back against the wall. And I'm glad that we haven't. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that we
Oh,
live
we
in
mind. We mind with
but
the
we
next
might.
generation, that are going into the Army, the military, the Navy. A lot of them are soft, man. They ain't going to handle it.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to go berserk even if they're at sea for 50 days.
We're already seeing it
let alone
with
200.
To circle back, I mean, you were just mentioning that story of those people on the Lincoln.
Yes.
There was about 60 of them that had issues.
Oh, 60 now had issues. Okay.
I believe
I knew it was
so.
several. I believe you're right. I'll check it out. I bet you're spot on, man, as usual. Yeah, these young kids, this is sort of we got to wrap this thing up and not on Iran's schedule.
And by
on
the way,
America's
Vaughn,
schedule.
hold on. You were mentioning some things earlier about the family, about all these sort of things, which I'm not
Yes.
disagreeing with you on. But I must ask you, though, to be fair, though. So why don't you have any kids, though? Where is your family, Vaughn?
I think my kids are overseas, to be honest.
You let them over there.
I think they are overseas.
That is amazing.
I think kids are great. I think there's a lot of kids in my in my family tree. Put it that way. We already have enough kids, and when I was when I was coming up, my famous line is, "Look," and it's true. Every girlfriend I had was popping the pill, the birth control pill, like it was candy. So if that thing was never invented,
They were snorting it.
oh, I would have had 10, 15 kids probably
Oh my goodness.
easily. I was very active. Yeah, still am, but boy,
Not
I was
not like in
voracious.
your prime.
But it's good to slow down a little bit too, because now it's just a different world, different game. So I think kids are great. I think, but I do believe I've always and I've talked about this. Family, your own personal family, is not for everybody. Not for everybody. It's really it either happens to you or it doesn't. And I tell guys that say, "Hey, man, my girlfriend called me. She's knocked up." And I go, "Hey, make the best of it." I go, "If she has it, make the best of it." But you're out of the guy has no control anyway. It's the
Or if
woman
not, I mean, he could
who
just take her
decides.
to the jacuzzi for a few hours.
That's right.
And I
Well,
would
yeah,
never advise that, by the way, Vaughn. I
I
mean,
would never advise
how
that.
dare you even think that?
How dare you?
How dare
I
you?
love that line. How dare you? But yeah, but at the same time, I support the traditional nuclear family. I
Sure.
think it's great.
Yeah.
I do support it. I just don't believe it's for everybody. I don't believe one size fits all.
I had to ask you
Uh,
that since, we are talking about it. And I know there
yeah.
will be listeners out there who will be like, what were your kids?
Well, again,
You know what I
I
mean?
I could have some. Women don't tell us anything, so I
Sure.
could have them. They might be in foreign countries. I'm sure there's. I have a feeling there's somebody out there with
You
my
think you have a
DNA
little, you
walking
think you have a
around.
little baby out there?
I might.
A little
I just
Vaughn,
don't know.
little
Men
Vaughn
don't know.
Wehunt Jr.
Yeah, we don't exactly. We don't know. We really
Mod
There's a
on.
lot of women. A lot of women will have kids now, and they don't tell the guy, and they'll move, and they say, "I want to be a single mother. I'm strong. I'm independent, right? And I want to raise it all by myself. I want the 100% influence on the kid."
Right.
I've actually seen this in people's lives, and I go, "Wow." So who's to say she's going to tell you anyway?
You
She may
never
or may
know.
not.
Yeah, you never
You never
know.
know.
That's right.
It's women's. That's a female thing. Guys are just a sperm donor. They don't know. They don't know. There's no law saying that we have to be advised. Only the woman has to be kept in the loop on stuff.
Aren't you
The
glad you
man is
don't have any kids, though?
well, again,
Or are you not,
I've
though, Vaughn? Is there
I
some.
I have I have no kids that I know about is my famous line. I know it sounds cliche, but it really is true. People ask me, and I go, "I think kids are great, but there's none that I know about." And until I get the court papers, I don't really necessarily. I'm just kidding.
Well, luckily for me, there are
Um,
no surprises waiting for me somewhere.
yeah, I don't want any surprises either. Life is too busy now. I'm too busy. You have to look at your life. I was in marriage and kids is, I'm like middle aged, right? So marriage and kids is for young people.
Well, you
It's
could
a
still
young
have a
guy
kid. I mean,
thing.
look at Al
Yeah,
Pacino.
yeah, true, but he has millions of dollars to back him up.
Well, that's
I
right.
don't. He can hire help. I
Well,
can't hire
that's the other
help.
thing. Kids are expensive.
They are extremely expensive. And every father says the same thing to me because I interview them and they say, "I love my kids," which rightfully so. I never give them up. Love them to death. But they always say, "I never," not that they wouldn't have them. They
Sure.
just say, "I never knew how expensive they were until I had." I
I'm
wish I
telling
was
you.
more financially prepared, is what they
And
all tell me.
and you know what? I
Yeah.
hate to even say this on the air because I know some of these people might be listening or will eventually, but I have a lot of friends that do have kids, and some of them very happy. Some of them not so happy. Some of them getting in the process of getting divorced right now from the old ball and chain, and they're going through a custody battle, seeing who's going to
Yes.
keep the son, the daughter. It's pretty insane. And I remember just a few months ago, this guy was telling me like, "Hey, Michael, he's trying to give me this talk and trying to tell me to have kids and like him, he wants me to be like him."
Right.
And time goes on, a few months goes on, and all of a sudden he finds out that she's been cheating on him, and now they're gonna get a divorce. And it's like, well, what happened? You were very high and mighty about the life you're living, and all of a sudden it all goes down
Right.
to shit. Now you're sad, depressed, you hate life, you become miserable. And I'm thinking, is that the future you wanted for me? I
Well,
didn't.
yeah,
I didn't
because
say that,
misery
by the
loves
way.
company.
I didn't say
Misery
that
loves
to.
company.
I didn't say that to
I have
him,
told
by
it
the
to 'em.
way. I
I
was
told that to guys' faces, yeah.
I was cool though. I mean, I didn't want to say anything. I'm
Mhm.
just like, I just was cordial. I was polite. I didn't say anything. I didn't. I didn't try to argue with him or anything. I was just going along to get along. But now, fast forward, and his whole life has been turned upside down. And I just feel bad for him and for everybody, basically. But yeah, Misery Loves Company, as you just typed in. We might even name the episode that.
That'd be great. Well, the thing is you're man, that's a great story. Again, I think kids are great, but you got to be. Look, I tell guys, you got to be have the mindset. And when I was talking before, it was like marriage to me, and and all that stuff is really for the young. And when I mean that, I mean young people.
Like a
You
Mormon.
fall in love. Yeah, like well, it's like a movie. You fall in love, boy meets
I said
girl,
like
you
a
have some
Mormon, not a
kids,
movie.
or this. Yeah, that's well, the same thing exactly.
That's true, yeah.
So yeah, they get married and then they have, 10, 15 years later, maybe it'll last forever, maybe it won't. I call those Tinder marriages. They probably met on Tinder and it's got a 7 to 10 year itch and they both vacate the premises, right? So
Yeah,
like one guy wrote here, no kids, no marriage. I would add in no wife, no stress because I love being a bachelor. Again, I don't recommend it. It's not for every guy, but I wrote the book, as you know, The Bachelor's Guide to the Galaxy
that's right.
and beyond.
And beyond. That's right.
And I wrote about this stuff
Yeah.
20, not about what, 12 years ago or whatever. But my thing is it's a good book and it goes through all these things. And the guys that say, hey, you should be like me and raise kids and be a patriot or whatever. I go, man, I love it that you're a patriot. I get it, but you're not paying my bills. So if you're not paying my bills, shut the fuck up. That's my bottom line with people. I go, unless you're paying my bills and you're buying things for my household, my studio, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you, you know, don't lecture me, in other words. I don't want to hear your lecture. If you're happy, I'm happy for you. Seriously.
All right, yeah.
Well, let's see how it goes. But let's see how it goes. And then, like you said, they call you in 3 years. Oh my God, this happened and that happened. I go, well, no, no, no. I said, you can't go back now. You're a married man. Don't, no. You're on the front lines of American society. You're building those blocks of our society. You can't stop now. So don't come and bitch at me. Married guys are
And
always
Vaughn.
seeking me out because I'm not married.
And Vaughn, by the
Yeah.
way, this was like a 5-6 months of him texting me about this, telling me to
Yeah.
settle down, to, knock up a few girls, do that, become a father. This is all the things he was telling me, by the way, for about 6 months. He
Wow.
was trying, he wanted me to live the life that he was living, basically.
Right. Well, people that are doing things like that are very important to them, people feel better when everyone's doing the same thing
It was
at the same
wild, Vaughn. I've
time.
never heard of that before. I mean, he was very
Yes.
consistent, by the way. And this is someone who I've known since the 8th grade.
Oh, yeah, they get really wigged out because, well, what it is that they are not telling you is they don't feel you're doing your part, Michael. Vaughn, you're not doing your part for society. And again, if that's the case, this is
Your
my
biological
stand
duty.
retort. Right. It's your biological duty for your racing country. But here's what I always tell them. I go, I can't compete, man, with 50 million illegal aliens coming over the border. I can't compete with any of that. If I have 2 or 3 kids, that's a dent in the bucket of immigration, illegal immigration. I can't compete with that. So my thing is until you secure that border and deport 50 million people that don't belong here, maybe then I'll think about getting married and building up America.
Well, I mean,
So you
Vaughn,
do that,
you could still,
not gonna do it.
you could adopt a child. You could adopt a nice little Jewish child.
Oh, vey.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
vey.
why not? Yeah, just adopt.
Just not my thing, man. Not my thing. You'd probably sell everything in my house when I'm gone and give it to Israel, like the American Congress. How about those apples?
By the way, someone in the chat room. Someone in the chat room. I'm not sure if they're asking you or me, but they're saying, "Do you ever fear not passing on your genetics?"
Great question, and I have an answer to that. Yes and no. Just kidding. No, what it is, your genetics are already out there scientifically by all the things that I've read. A lot of people are afraid of that. My thing is when you're dead up in heaven or in the pearly gates, are you really going to care? Really? You might, and I get it. Um, but my thing is, I don't ever rule it out I always say it depends on the girl. If you meet the right girl, men will do anything, right? Men will do anything.
Sure.
But you gotta meet the right girl. So, what I'm saying is, I've had lots of great girlfriends in my life, but nobody I would really say, "Man, I can't wait to make babies with her. I can't wait to put a ring on her finger." Never met a girl that struck me that way, and that's why I always say I'm an old soul. I was probably born too late. If I was born 1945 or say, maybe 1935 or 25, I probably have a different viewpoint of it. It's not about genetics to me. It's about happiness on planet Earth for you. And I always say if having kids makes you happier, if it adds value to your life, then do it. Again, I'm a proud uncle. I've got like 6 nieces and nephews, and that's enough for me.
Do you think
But
it's
again,
narcissistic to have children, by the way?
no.
Do you
People
want to have
say
a
that.
Xerox copy of yourself?
Well, I see what you mean. Yes, in a way, because a lot of people and again, it's nature. It's okay as a look when you're a father, like my brother, you do want a Xerox copy, and that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Again, but my brother, great guy, he had what I call, it's in my book. He had the dad gene. You ever met those guys, like in high school or college, and they had this burning desire for a family, right?
Believe
It's
me,
great.
I've known many people like that. They usually come from
Yes.
large families, by the way.
Yeah, and they talk about it all the
Oh,
time. I'm
yeah.
going, "Dude, let's go to the frat house in, like, in college and drink some beers and chase some skirt." And I heard them talk about your future family too. That's just a downer. I had a roommate like that in college. And I go, I had to blow him off to kinda, "Well, have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I'm off to the bars." Okay, that was me. But that was me. That was what I was doing. Yeah, I got what he was saying. But again, I never had that burning desire. To me, it was like I approached it very objectively.
Well, the way I see it,
Yeah,
Vaughn, me and you, we're very desirable commodities without having a child or being married.
oh, we are. We are. We're the dinosaur in American society. We're in a good way. We're just an aberration. We're off the charts, man.
Pretty much. I love that, by the way.
Off the charts. We're highly desirous. And on top of that, I can tell her I didn't take the shot. I'm your pure blood,
Yeah, you're
baby.
pure blood.
Pure blood.
Absolutely.
No Dr. Fauci COVID medicine going through my veins.
No Fauci
Thank
ouchie.
God. Exactly.
Yeah, that guy's going to get away with it all. I mean, they all will.
You will.
Let's be honest,
Totally.
Vaughn. Let's be honest.
I
They're
mean,
all going to get away
yeah.
with it. Nothing's going to happen to them. A lot of people were asking me for my opinion, and I thought, why? What can I say to you? Yeah,
Obey.
I'm not going to talk to you for
Obey.
20
Right.
minutes about Fauci and how X, Y, and Z. I mean, I could just say he's fine. He's a protected class.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you?
How dare you say that? Yeah, exactly. Well, you're right. You're spot on, man. It's like nothing's going to happen to anybody. It's all, smoke and mirrors. It's just a great show. Big circus show for America. Big clown show.
Absolutely.
And they're going to what does America do when they know you're on to them? I mean, the elites and the people in DC, they distract you with a war. They distract you with something else is going to come down the pike. And America's going to turn their heads the other way and then the other way. What did ancient Rome do? People were starting to fester. They were starting to learn too much about the intricacies of the Roman Senate, and let's have a war. 300 days of games, Michael. Games, death, destruction in the Roman Colosseum. Oh, yeah. Get bread and wine, get them all effed up on that. All kinds of like little opiates to give them. Get them all high, fucked up. And we'll have big games, and they'll forget about their troubles, and they won't plot to overthrow us.
I already forgot
Because
about mine
Michael-
as you're describing that.
Exactly. I used to love that show on HBO called Rome, right? And that big fat Roman guy would be out there, saying the news of the day: Pontius Pilate is dead. Roman legions march on Macedonia, and the emperor loves the people.
And yeah, I agree
It's
with
brought to you. Love that guy.
And by the way, I agree with Mr. Jelly in the chat room. He's saying, what do you think sports are today?
Same thing. He's right. That's what I
No
went.
different.
Spot on.
He's right.
No different. Sporting games for the sporting family. And so now you see the young family, they buy jerseys for the kids, put on a credit card, which goes to Jewish bankers, and all the kids have a matching jersey with dad and mom. Now, I have no problem with that. If that's what makes, again, if it makes you happy, do it. But you got to understand, you hate to use a pun, you're being played in a way. They suck you in. And first of all, why is America so, well, it's easy to be for sports because Americans like to be for something, for a team. It's in our psychology. They don't want to sit back and analyze anything. They don't want to read anything. They want to be for something, for a party, for a team, for a player. And that's America. We're always looking, remember, we're always looking outward at the world. We're never looking inward at anything, rarely. Little pockets here and there, but that's not, America likes to look outward. Team America, we're coming to get you because you're over there, we're over here. And by the way, they told us years ago, they said, we have to fight them over there, Michael, so they don't come over here, right? That's not even reality. Now we bring them in by the millions. If you're a criminal in the third world, America wants you. Uncle Sam wants you. Come on board. Come on in, folks. Can't wait to have you come into America. We'll fly you in. We'll give you money. Cash you out. That's America. Then we go, oh, we got to go overseas again to fight a war. But wait, I thought we were going to fight them over there so we don't bring them over here. Whatever happened to that is my question. Now they're all here. It's terrible, man.
That's why you got to adopt a Jewish child, Vaughn.
They just, I'm German Italian. Not in the books, man. Not going to happen.
You don't see yourself settling down with a hot queen, a black queen.
I could, I guess. But I prefer a big
how about like 5 children, Vaughn? One could become a singer. Maybe an entertainer. I mean, it sounds like a nice future
I want
for.
to sit back and collect their checks.
You'd be like Joe Jackson.
Exactly.
Why not?
Well, I prefer blondes or a saucy brunette like you got on the screen here. But I want her saucy and sexy like these two.
No,
I like them both.
Yeah, right that's now. Why they're there. They're they're both.
I know.
Very
great
nice.
Eye candy. Great eye candy.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Well, America, they always talk about the melting pot, right?
Right.
It's not in the Constitution that we're going to be a melting pot. This is all a fictitious narrative that they've just rammed down America's throat.
I don't know why, Vaughn, but I just keep picturing you with like a black queen. I don't know why.
Hey, man.
I think you need a black woman in your life. I think you do, Vaughn. I think you've been going about this the wrong way. I think we need to get you with a sister.
There you go.
Yeah, why not? Come on, Vaughn. You only live
Life
once.
is short.
You only live once.
Dice,
just
man.
have like 5 kids. Fuck it, Vaughn.
Well, then I can apply for EBT cards. And welfare.
Why not?
Might not be a bad idea. And get all these big scams. We can do scams and not be prosecuted for it.
There you go.
Cool. Yeah. Hook up with Omar's team in Minnesota and have a daycare and bill the federal government. Make millions.
I thought about it myself, Vaughn. I mean, it's a pretty good investment to make.
What's going on?
I live close. I live close to Long Beach. It's a short drive. I could go and meet one tomorrow.
I know. Big money in
That's a good investment plan.
And JD Vance, to his credit, he goes, "There's so much fraud out there, and they're, it's his team is like Doge squared, right? And they're finding it, but I haven't heard anybody being arrested yet or any prosecutions.
Whatever happened to the Doge checks that people were going to receive, by the way?
Thank you.
What happened?
Sir. That's my question. Exactly. Where's my $5,000, man?
Right.
They promised us $5 or $10,000. I heard at the I mean, big. That's a nice little hit.
Wait a minute, Vaughn. Are you telling me that Mexico is not going to build a wall? We're not going to get those checks coming in. There's going to be more endless wars. That were you telling me, Vaughn?
It's like the Leering Center up
How
there in
dare
Minnesota.
you?
I mean, no, no wall, no check. See, that's my point. You just made it for me. I love you, man. We have money for everybody around the world. There's never a dime for the American people. They say, screw you. Sit in the corner and pay more taxes. And if you don't, we're going to stick this surveillance state on your ass. So sit tight, kid. Enjoy the ride. And so the ride that we're on is there's never any money for us. There's no Doge checks. What are all the great things they promised us about? We're in the future now, man. 2026 AD.
Well, Vaughn, if you want things like that, then obviously you're a communist. You must be a socialist if you want free things, Vaughn. How dare you?
How dare you? Look, what I'm saying is you guys spend money all over the damn planet Earth. And why is it a crime when the American people say, can you fix the potholes in our roads? Can you build a bridge?
And to add on to what you're saying, Vaughn, not to cut you off, but to drive the point home even further, anytime I've heard the Republicans or conservatives bring up the EBT stuff, bring up all this sort of stuff, the free stuff, what do you think? What do you think corporate welfare is? What do you think bailouts are?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, they
know what I mean? I mean, they love
H-1B visas, man.
In the news, they don't
on the
news they don't love telling the people about that.
Oh yeah. Well, they're all over it because the thing is, they want to get rid of Americans and they want you to teach the new Indian guy from Calcutta your job so they can fire your ass. That's what they like. To them, that's a win-win. We got rid of the white guy. Screw Whitey. Get him out of here. Bring in the Indian guy from Calcutta. That's who we want.
Trump loved that, by the way. He's bringing all the Indians over.
Bring them over. Yeah. They have 2 billion people. Bring them all over. And I'll tell you, it's hitting home because I have friends up there, I have friends, as you do, all over the country. North Texas, Plano area. They're building that big Muslim compound. And all those mosques are bases for jihad, folks. They're building those things left and right. They have that secret money from the Middle East they bring in, or from China, and neighborhoods that were once it's true. It's just so obvious. You can't help but notice it. Thriving white families, gone, displaced. And then they bring in the Indians. And this, my friends, he's the last holdout in a, quite nice, a nice neighborhood there in McKinney and one in Plano. And they go, dude, every house they kick out Whitey and they bring in the Indian family. And he's counted already over 20 houses down the street. They're bringing them in. I don't care what Trump says. They're still bringing them in. And Elon Musk loves H-1B. Oh, my God.
Well, he's also an immigrant, so.
That's right. Well, so is Mamdani, the communist of New York. He was born in Uganda. The silver spoon in his mouth. Most people don't even know that. He was a rich kid. Rich. Came over here. Now he's New York mayor. And by the way, he's pissing off the Italians there. I'm not sure how that's going to go. But
he's not my mayor.
Exactly.
Heard that old man say that.
He's not my mayor. They got Hockley, the governor, the lady witch. They don't know what they're doing. They're pissing off everybody. Everyone's moving out of there. See, the Democrats are so stupid. What they don't get is that people with money can move, and they have houses all over the world. Why would they sit there and take your tax punishment and say, yes, you're right, Mamdani. I owe you $1 million extra in taxes per year for your wonderful programs. No, they move. They go, well, it's been nice. Time to go. They split, man. Go. Like the wind. Don't blame them. I would. I wouldn't sit there. I'd move out of town. When things cool down, you move back in. Take over again. How about that?
They're getting what they wanted, by the way. Truly.
They are.
That's what New York wanted.
That's right. That's what they wanted.
That's what they wanted, and they got it. Oh, yeah, that's what I say. If it was on the other side, if it was here in California, you would hear the folks on the East Coast saying the same thing that I am, that they deserve it.
Right.
Anytime a disaster happens on the West Coast, the people on the East Coast, they say shit like that all the time.
They do. They do. Well,
So-
I'm a West Coast guy too, like yourself. So, yeah, they was, oh, you guys, whatever. It's like, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I mean, I have friends in New York. We have a lot of listeners there, and I get good intel from the streets of Little Italy and all over the place, and good intel and things that go on. Like now, this did make the news. Where Mondani was booed off the stage in Staten Island. Classic. And he was quite troubled by it. They sort of popped that bubble around him, that media bubble. And so
you better get used to it.
He better get really used to it. Yeah. Like one guy wrote here, the communists are at the gates. Well, it's really a Trojan horse. And we let them in. We fostered it. We encouraged it. And then what's funny about Americans is they sit back and they go, wow, what happened? How did this happen? Well, Sherlock, we invited them to come in. And
we voted for it, by the way.
We voted for it. We put it in the school books. They've been talking about this for 20, 30 years. The whack job college professors love this stuff. And they always say the same thing. I always love it. Well, Michael and Vaughn, communism has never been done correctly yet. And that's why, in all of our ultimate wisdom, we have to try it again. Never worked. It's never worked, man. There's no need to try it again. Okay? That's stupid. But why I live here and they live there. Enjoy your communist state to the max. We watch it burn and collapse. It's going to happen. Commies talk a big game, and so do the Democrats, socialists. They all talk a big game, and they don't deliver the goods. Never do. And the dummies that vote for them finally realize it when it's too late. Well, throughout history, they get shot. What do the communists do when they take over a country? I'll tell you. They find all the people who voted for them, and they shoot their ass. Why? Why, you ask? Because they want to get rid of those people. They know they are corrupt, and they'll follow anything, including a revolution against them. They can't have that. Always shoot their supporters. A lot of them. Not all, but a lot of them. Get rid of them. What Castro did. Cuba. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for fighting for me. Now, will you please face the wall? Thank you. What they do. I would see what people do, their actions. Actions speak louder than words. My book. And that, Michael, was the Von Wehunt world that we live in.
That's crazy. The Von Wehunt world we live in, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, I don't disagree. It's kind of the way it's been for a long time. I think America's pretty much screwed, Vaughn, to be honest with you. I don't see us I don't see any sort of a positive future going forward, to be honest, the way things are going with our so-called political leaders, by the way.
Yeah, we've had really...
I'm not a nihilist, by the way, if you're wondering. Right. And right. I haven't...
Well, you are.
I haven't given up hope, though, exactly, for the country. I mean, I don't have a positive outlook, but I haven't just given up, to be honest, but... Real restoration requires sort of a radical shift in who holds power, and the concentration of unbridled wealth and influence among, I guess you could say, a small ruling class has paralyzed our republic, Vaughn, to be honest with you. And maybe until we strip away the corporate immunity and hold these entrenched economic elites accountable, genuine progress will remain out of reach, in my opinion. And the faster we dismantle this system, I guess you could say, of rule by the few, the better off the American public will be. And now I'm not ever going to incite violence or tell anyone to do anything that would be considered dangerous but I suppose it's truly a waiting game. Hopefully these rich and important people at the top begin to cease to exist.
Right.
Hopefully that's not too radical, but I'll keep my fingers crossed for some men and women out there to take a nap and never wake up again, Vaughn.
Well, you and I make light of these things, but I know you and I know me. We have a serious side to us, and we talk about these things kind of in jest, but because that's the nature of radio and media and stuff. But I know in your core, in your heart of hearts, your mind of minds, Michael, you care deeply about the country. I believe you do.
Absolutely.
I know I do.
I do.
And I want us to do well. I really do for everybody. But here's my point. We're never going to make America great again. Okay. If you keep bringing in the third world, and then you sit back and you go, why is America acting like the third world? It's because you're bringing them in. You're importing them. You're encouraging this. We're never going to make America great again to do that. Okay, that's number one. We have a lot of people that have been over here for years and generations. They could be great people. I'm sure they are. But they were country shopping 10, 20 years ago, and they decided to plant roots in America. Their kid may go to soccer league. Great. They could be paying taxes. But they came over here illegally, and we have millions of these people. Omar, just think of Omar up there in Minnesota. I mean, how many Somalians are in America? They say we have 1/3 of Somalia's population now nestled in between New York and Omar's place up there in Minnesota. I mean, that's 1/3 of a country. Honduras, pick another one. We have 1/4 to 1/3 of their people in America. And that's a big problem, man. Again, I'm not saying that that they're terrible people of them, but the thing is, we can't continue this insanity to bring in millions of people that don't belong here, and they don't. This country was never set up to take in the world. The world was what we were trying to get away from. It's in the documents. It's in the founding documents. Because that's where we're at. We're at a impasse. And it may turn ugly. I hate to say it. But I always say, like you do, I never tell anybody to do anything in the real world, God forbid. I just don't. Just way too. But I always say history is organic. Like the American Revolution. Things happen on their own, baby. Like Lexington and Concord. When I fired that shot, by the way, at that damn British officer, it was me. Full responsibility for that. I fired the shot. My ancestors did. Sure. Because Americans love to fight about stuff like that. Oh, yeah. We're all over it, man. But we're at a place now where, I hate to say it, America looks like a Somalian talk show or, a Venezuelan taco shop. Nothing wrong with having different foods. And Americans are funny. They'll say, oh, man, but think of all the great food we're going to get. Michael, the food, the ethnic dishes. This is their defense.
They actually say
letting
that.
The gates open. People say this. It's the
really
food. They're foodies. And they go, but the food I hear it all.
I'm not really into Indian food, by the way.
I hate it. Can't stand it.
It's not very good.
I hate that curry smell. It's just not my thing.
I know personally. I mean, I was scarred for life. Back in the 7th grade, I went over to dinner at a friend's house, and he was Indian, and they made curry that night, and I almost threw up, by the way, just by the smell alone. It was bad.
It's terrible.
It's awful. And by the way, Vaughn, another story that I don't think I have ever relayed to you here, but I've told the listeners numerous times. I believe I told Mike, but I'll tell you since we're talking about Indian people. And at the time when it happened, I thought it was a Hispanic woman who did this, but I actually saw this woman again, and I realized that she was not Hispanic at all. She was actually an Indian woman. And let me get down to business here. So I had just gone and got a car wash, and I'm driving back to the house here. And I'm pulling up and I'm parking on the side there. And I'm walking to the building, and I see a woman on the sidewalk in broad daylight squat down and just piss all over the floor, all over the sidewalk. A long trail followed me as I walked along, and I'm looking at this trail thinking, what is that?
Gross.
Why is this thing free flowing like Niagara Falls? And I realized, this is actually coming from a woman squatted right over here. And of course I passed by her, And do you think she made eye contact with me?
Yes, I bet she did.
She didn't know. She never broke. She never broke. She was all in on with the pissing.
Gross.
She never stopped pissing, by the way.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, it was disturbing.
That is disturbing, dude.
And I didn't know.
So disturbing.
And at first I thought she was just like some Hispanic woman, just someone's like old grandmother. But I saw this woman again, like maybe about 6 months later, I actually saw her again. And it was an Indian woman.
Where was the cow?
Right here in Huntington Beach, by the way. I just, for folks that want to know, I'm here in Huntington Beach and this happened.
Was the cow near there at the same time?
No, I didn't see a cow.
Or a pet cow?
No, I didn't see the cow, but she literally let loose on the sidewalk. Bon, it was rather disturbing.
Now, she was an Indian, and for the people that are in parts of the country that don't know, that's red dot, not red feather, right?
Correct.
Okay. Red dot.
Correct.
Gotcha. The red dot people.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been different, if she was an Indian of that sort, she would have been smoking.
Right.
Joking, of course, but no.
I totally believe it.
I'm telling you, it was disturbing.
Yeah. That's why I had a write in the chat room. You import the third world America, you become the third world. We're importing these cultures here that they think nothing of it, man. They think it's wonderful. She gets to squat down and piss on the street like she would in Calcutta. Wonderful. That's what they do.
It was wild, one. I never see that before.
Yeah. Go to YouTube, folks. Just
oh my God.
look at some videos. That's just so disgusting.
Dude,
It's so
was
bad.
gnarly.
It's funny. And so that's what I say to people. I say it's so bad that actually it's kind of funny where America's at. America, you never cease to amaze me. You never do. There's always something like that, these stories that come up. And it's just crazy where we're at, in our evolution.
Absolutely. Man. And Vaughn, things aren't going to get better, when we have people like this out there in the media, people like this guy here.
You have this guy, Senator John Ossoff. He's a radical left-wing senator from Georgia. He's Jewish, at least in name only. And the Atlantic version of the Jewish Insider, the editor there, has outed this guy.
This guy's voice kills me.
Outed him for what? He said, look, this senator who's Jewish comes back here to Atlanta and Georgia generally, and he talks about how he supports Israel, the Jewish groups and the Jews. Then he goes back to Washington, and every single vote is a vote against the state of Israel. Can you imagine being so duplicitous? So duplicitous that you're a left-wing Jew, you go back to Georgia, you tell the Jews, you vote for Israel, you come back to Washington, and you vote against Israel every time. Can you imagine if a black representative did that? Can you imagine if any other ethnicity did that? Or any other religion did that? No. So this guy, in addition to be a left-wing hack, who wants to go after Donald Trump if they take the Senate and the House, who is truly a radical, on top of that, he's a liar and a fraud.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
That's Mark Levin.
I know. Oh, that's hilarious.
I can't stand that man. He needs to go, Vaughn.
Oh, I mean, he's like the quintessential TV media boomer.
He's got to go. We got to get rid of him, Vaughn, somehow, some way.
The Jew boomer media guy.
Oy vey.
Oh, vey. And if you don't give more shekels to Israel, then you're a terrorist. For saying lately. Not him, but I'm sure they're thinking it. But see, if you don't get on board, we're not on board with the program, man. There's a program here, not the Michael Decon program. It's the U.S. government. It's the Mark Levin, other people. They have a media program is you've got to go with the program to even get a show like that. Because who's funding all these shows?
Oh,
Jewish producers. I know.
All the
So
same
you
people
can't
that
even
Fox
get
News
on
take their marching orders from.
and I'll be honest with you, money talks. I don't blame them
That's
on one
right.
hand because they're all living in mansions. They make multi-million dollar. Folks, just Google their net worth. All of them, and I get a kick out of their shows. I watch a lot of them, but you're looking at it at hundreds of millions
But doesn't
versus their
it
net
bother
worth.
you? Don't you think it's so phony, though, when you see these talking heads talking about how hard it is in America, and anytime they complain about jobs, about working, about anything, and I'm thinking, coming from a multi-millionaire, close to a billionaire, I'm pretty sure some of these TV pundits, these talking heads, I think, goddamn, how out of touch are you with reality?
Oh, totally. I mean, they work so hard.
Oh, they work very hard on TV, yes. Oh, yeah.
These media jobs are all flash and glamour. They're easy. It's easy money. In fact,
It ain't hard from reading from teleprompter.
No, I was telling a friend of mine, I said, if I had a son, I would teach him to be a TV talk show host.
TV anchor.
TV guy. TV anchor. As a kid, that's where the money in the ass is.
It's a big money.
All the hot babes.
Oh, yeah.
And all you got to do is I would say, don't you dare write anything from age 5 up negative about Israel. It'll come back to haunt you.
That's right.
Don't say, anything about anything. In fact, I would tell them, go under triple aliases, never use your real name, because they're going to find it and it's going to kill your job interview. I mean, when you get hired by Fox News or CNN or wherever, it's a multi-million dollar contract.
Right.
They're not in our world, man. They limo to and from the studio. They have mansions in New Jersey and upstate New York. They fly in on their chopper to do the show, or they live in Staten Island. Look, it's just go to Google, and I have actually looked up their net worths. And
are they living in the Hamptons, by the way?
Some of them have $200 million.
I can imagine.
We're talking Epstein cash here.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe that's not enough. I mean, Epstein
that's not enough, but
them,
at least they're
yes.
Yeah, and so now they're down with the fight, or down with look. They have to say that. I mean, what else?
Oh, sure.
It's the media.
But the fact that there's a lot of the fact that there's a lot of the older generation that bought into that, though, it completely sad. I mean, this is the same network that took lots of money as well to sort of run these health ads for what happened a few years ago.
Well, yeah, the media is all about the cash, man.
Absolutely.
America is all. If I were to tell a young class, I almost had a teacher who wanted me to talk, but they said no. I was banned in the sense that I was going to give like a little thing to and my spiel is this: America, as a young guy or gal, you got to know we're the American empire. Here, it's all about cash and assets. It's got nothing to do with your feelings. No one cares about your feelings. It's all about getting ahead any way you can. That's really America. So yeah, they'll take the COVID cash, and then they'll disavow those terrible people like Dr. Fauci, hang him, right? They'll say stuff like that, or words to that effect. Okay. The next thing comes along, they'll take the cash and they'll do it. They will do they'll say, well, we never said that. It's a disclaimer. We disavow it. Blah blah blah. They do this all the time. This charade, man.
Oh, they're all whores for money. I mean, just look at Tucker as a great example. He was a part of CNN and Fox News.
Right. He has a large family that needs to be fed. He has collected checks from everybody. Made millions. That, in a weird way, that's the American dream.
And good friends with Hunter Biden, by the way. He was also talking to Hunter about getting his son into Georgetown, I believe.
Well, he's smart because you want.
I didn't say he was dumb. He's very smart, actually. He's manipulatively smart.
Right, because
he's intelligent, all right.
He's very intelligent. He sees the writing on the wall. He sees this Democrat socialist wave.
Oh, by the way, you know what he is? He's the ultimate opportunist. Let's put it that way.
Yes, but again, that's America. That's America. America is all about wild opportunity.
Damn.
All about that.
We've been going about this the wrong way, Vaughn. I think we're in the wrong business. We should have really been trying to infiltrate the evangelical crowd. I mean, it's good money.
I know. I've thought about that very often.
Jesus this, Jesus that.
We have too much of a paper trail now.
Oh,
But
that's true. Well, I mean,
I-
well, we could just say we're born again. We went to a church. We're
Yes.
born again, and now we love Israel.
Or my famous line when the senator gets caught, he says, "Well, I did that in my youthful indiscretion, sir."
There you go. There we go.
And I didn't. I'm not like that now. I'm a new man.
Hey, I
I'm a
changed.
changed man.
I'm
with
going
the
to
Lord.
I'm going to college.
Yeah, I've
I'm going to
learned new
college.
things. And the other famous lines, "I've grown, Michael.
Oh, I've grown. Yeah,
I've grown.
I turned a new
Yeah.
leaf.
Never newly. I'm a new man." And you know, classic stuff, man. Like Jimmy Swaggart being caught by the hooker in Louisiana at the motel back in the day. Another classic story. And this country is very forgiving. All you got to do is shed a tear, a crocodile tear, and if you vote left, they will forgive you. That's all it takes. Easy.
It's great, man. It's great.
Yeah,
And
that's America.
that is America
Team
for
America.
you. I love it though. I mean, again, I'm not against America. It's just we live in
Love America.
we live in a very strange place, my friend.
I love the country. I love the people. I love America. But I've always said she never fails to amaze me, and she loves distractions. This country is sometimes it's like a teenage girl. We go from one thing to the other, and we can't focus on anything.
America is like an ex-girlfriend, basically.
It really is.
You're like in an
It's
abusive
crazy.
relationship.
Yes. And Uncle Sam is a corrupt uncle that's at the bar. He's drunk as hell.
And he's molested you.
Fight. He's ready to or that. He's ready
Yeah,
to fight.
right. Oh my
That's
God.
America.
It's crazy, Vaughn. We live, I'm telling you, there's something off about Americans. So I love them. Don't get me wrong. Love America, but there's something off about every single one of us out there.
Agree.
We are
Agree.
so different from the rest of the world. It's crazy, man.
We are. And that's a good thing in a way because I always say over here in this country, I'm never bored. People say I'm bored. I'm hardly ever bored, truly bored.
How could you be
There's always
bored?
something to look at. How could you be bored with everything going on? And really, we live out west and it's fun to sit back. And out west, just so the folks know, anything east of the Mississippi River, we view that as old America. That's old America. That's like all the riots, all the crazy storms, all those. And out west, it's a different kind of a type of a crazy. But all that stuff, a lot of it, I always say it happens east of the Mississippi. A lot of that stuff. DC was put there for a reason. It's in a swamp. You're never going to get rid of the swamp, folks. It's fun to watch. That's all I got to say. It's fun to watch.
Oh, it's fun to watch. It's fun to be here and watch it all go down in the comfort of our homes, basically.
And I like what Defy the Tyrant said. America is the final bastion of true freedom of speech in the Second Amendment. Thank God. It's right. And he's right. They do want to muzzle us. They want our free speech rights. And they want your guns. They truly do. And if they ever get the chance, if you ever give them your guns, they're going to kill you. You know that, don't you? They're going to kill you, folks. They will. They will. I'm telling you.
Well,
Right
that's
as
what we
rain.
wanted. That's what we wanted with all this technology, by the way. Will be used
That's
against
right.
you.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I was getting
Well-
at when I was talking to you about drones and all this sort of stuff. I mean, that this is all part of it, my friend. The biotechnology, the drones, the surveillance. It's all coming down, my friend.
God, that's so true. Like I said, my dad used to say, his son's coming out in your lifetime. You better suit up and get ready, be armed up and ready because it's coming down in your lifetime. The things I've seen just in my short lifetime, as you have, are amazing. Amazing. Just what they are doing. Everyone goes, "Yep, that sounds great to me." Pretty soon they'll say, "America, we don't have enough security. We want you to be really safe. We're going to put cameras in your house." Okay. And they'll say, "Yep, sounds great. If I'm doing nothing wrong, I've got nothing to worry about." That's right. See? And that'll be next.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It's going to happen.
Yes. The acceleration system of power AI, quantum computing, biotechnology, the drones, the surveillance, all have something in common, Vaughn. They increase the ability of a government, a corporation, military, or even a small group of skilled individuals to act at scale. I mean, it's pretty outrageous. You're gonna have all these social credit scores coming down the pike. We love China, even though we claim to hate them, but we follow in their footsteps, and they have all that already going on out there. They have a whole blueprint that basically America will use as well in the next few years, Vaughn.
I used to cringe as a young buck coming up the ranks where they'd say, China's the new model. China, call me China. That's who we're going to emulate. That's the new model for America. I go, we don't want to emulate those prickos, those commie bastards. We don't want to emulate them at all. We want to be way above them. Why do you want to go in the muck, in the mire, and act like communist fucking China? Seriously. That's the stupidest thing, but they used to say it. All the corporate CEOs and the seals and the sheep would just clap. Oh, wonderful. He's a visionary, that was what they would say. No, he's not a visionary. He's paid off by the communist regime to say that. That's the deal. Let's check his bank account. Why is he saying this all over the place? So you're right. That's what they want. That's the agenda. I've always said they want Americans to have your cup of rice, shut up, pay your taxes, and don't speak out like little Chinamen. And ride your bicycle because cars are bad. That's what they want. And they're kind of getting it in a weird way. They're kind of getting Americans to be cut, to be quiet. They're afraid to talk now. Should I say that? They're thinking, the revolutionary blood is out of some people, man. I've always said that. It's out of their, it's not in their system or their bloodline anymore. Sad to say. Gone. But not in my family. We're ready to go, man. It's go time, Michael. It's go time. What do you say?
Well, we've been sold out, Vaughn. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
That is the sad part. Again, we're pretty much powerless over big tech companies, by the way. We've been, again, sold out. It is go time, though. I agree with you. However, not enough people awake at the wheel.
Yeah.
That's the reality that we live in. Not many people care enough.
Well, they have bought the bill of goods that they're going to be taken care of. And the problem is the young kids want the universal income. They don't want to work. They want to sit at home, scroll, and get paid. So
pretty much
love all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
If it was a perfect world, I don't blame them on one hand. I mean, who really wants to go into a company, punch a clock, and build stuff or widgets? That's how America used to be. But the young kids coming up, they don't do any of that. They don't want to do none of it. In fact, in China, they have a thing called lying flat, where the young people do nothing. They lie flat in front of coffee shops, and they go in there and they just hang out with their friends and drink coffee and scroll. I don't blame them. It's fun, but the government hates that over there naturally. And so, but we've again imported the third world, and now we want to do that. Kids want to scroll, not work. When I was out there, they said in the Generation X era, get out there and get a job, kid. Make your own way. Move out of the house. Be productive. Do something with your life, for God's sake. It's like, Niedermeyer yelling at you in that Twisted Sister music video. It's hilarious. But we couldn't wait to get out. We wanted freedom. Get out from under mom and dad's thumb. We couldn't wait to bust out the doors. But these kids, see now, getting back to the, full circle, back to your convo about the kids and family and all of that. Now, if you have a kid, your kid will not leave the house at age 18. You're going to have the kid at age 40 or 50. I mean,
even then,
40,
you might
50,
even then, you're still going to have
stay
them
with you. Right. You're going to have them for life.
For life, yeah.
See, that's my thing. Having kids, it's not an 18-year plan. Those days are over. I mean, what do I see? Every news article, kids are moving out of the house. Kids are 35, 40-year virgin. I mean, they're not moving out, man. And here's it gets worse. They can't afford to move out.
No.
With the affordability crisis, they can't afford to move out. And let's be honest, you're not going to let your kid out there on the street. I wouldn't. I'd say, come on back. We'll put you up. We'll figure something out, right? But you're never going to figure out anything if inflation keeps going. The dollar gets gutted or fiat currency. So now if you have kids, it's going to be a 50-year plan or till life into death. You're going to have the kids forever. And they're going to sponge out forever. So that's another caveat that people don't think about. Oh man,
Biden's America, baby.
For hours, buddy.
Biden's America.
That's right.
Love that. Love blaming Biden for none of these things that are realistic. But yeah, it's a wild world we live in, Vaughn. It's insane, my friend. The question is not whether America will use powerful technologies. It already is. The question, Vaughn, is whether citizens will retain the ability to know when they are being watched, challenged, and challenge the automated decisions, the control of their likeness and data, speak without fear, and hold people operating these systems accountable. But again, won't matter. We're too distracted with the technology that we were given. We're way too distracted. And I'm telling you, Vaughn, AI is going to take over every asset and facet of our lives.
I'm glad, man. I'm like probably halfway through my life right now where I'm going to see it begin. Well, it's the beast system. It is. It's a demonic beast system. It really is. You had a great comment earlier. You asked me about the why aren't chicks going to church of any kind? I don't care what it is. Thing is that what they've done, they've taken out the spirituality and the good nature of the American people. What do they sell? Demonic stuff. Don't go. There's no God, whatever. There is a God, an all-powerful God, and I believe that. That's my own personal belief. But with the young chicks, my God, they brainwashed so much. If they want to meet a guy and get out of your house, get out of your little apartment with 10 cats, go to your local church, you'll see a lot of young guys that want to bang you and make babies with you. I mean, that's where the guys are at, or they're working. Women go, there's no real men out there, guys my own age. Well, everyone's telling me, my God, they have a coffee and donuts thing. This guy that I know, he has a youth group, right? People 18 to 35s, a youth group, quote unquote. Okay. It's like 90% guys, 10% women at every event. So the women just aren't showing up. They're not going anywhere. Guys are. The women aren't. And then they bitch and moan when guys leave the country. They say, I can't find what I want over here. So maybe I'll find it in this country or that country. Passport bro, stuff like that is going on. So
I've spoken to a lot of people that do that, by the way.
A lot of people.
Pretty wild, actually. I'm kind of
American
surprised.
expats are growing.
Yeah, people are having fewer children because the bargain that once made parenthood feel achievable has basically been broken down. I hate to say that, but the financial cost is higher, ladies and gentlemen. Stability arrives later, relationships formed later or less reliably, and many people simply no longer see parenthood as the life they thought they wanted. And that's the brutal, honest version of it all, really. It's not a conspiracy. It's just a fact, by the way. People are not knocking it off boots out there, I guess. And it's a part of the economy, by the way, and everything, really.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, the kids will be with you for 50 years.
50 years.
50-year plan. I would say enjoy that plan. Let me see how it goes. It's a long time. You can't move them out. The kids can't afford to move out. Really, no fault of their own on one level, but they've been brainwashed to be lazy, sit around and scroll. I mean, I love the internet. I love to scroll and do that stuff too, but you got to, put some work in there somewhere or work on yourself. And the other issue is the immigrants coming in from the third world. They don't believe any of this stuff. They're making babies like it's 1950s America. They're having 7, 8, 10 kids and saying, support us. We're here. We want that government cheese, a big check. And they look at us and they go, "You Americans, you don't deserve a Doge check. So screw you. We're going to bring in more immigrants. F with you more." And so this is not going to end well. I hate to say it. I don't see any silver lining that's going to happen out of this. It's just going to grow and grow and go on down this road until one day it just explodes. It's just going to, it's not going to, just get ready for the fallout. Is my best advice.
All the winning. Are you not tired of all the winning?
Oh, the winning.
Yes, we've been winning a lot lately.
You know, if you're a Fox newscaster, their producers probably listening. They love it because their stock portfolio is going through the roof and they're making a lot of money off the ad revenue. And I get it. Some Americans, this is the greatest time ever. I get it. But they don't live in our neighborhoods. They have armed security, gates around their mansions. They have limos to and from work. I mean, we don't get any of that out here in the real world. So sure, I can see where a guy goes on TV and says, "Things are great. What are you bitching about? Things are wonderful in my life." See, they don't pay our bills. They don't see our neighborhoods because that's beneath them. That.
Yeah, they live in the Hamptons. You know what I mean? They're not worried about us.
Yeah,
But yeah, but again, the modern fear is not, can we keep a child alive? It is, can we give this child a stable life without destroying our own? And for many people, the answer feels like, hell no, or at least not yet.
Right.
But that's the reality that we live in, though, Vaughn. And I believe I'd read something not too long ago about the U.S. fertility had reached a record low of about 1.6 births per woman, by the way.
Yeah, well,
that figure might be a little bit lower now, by the way. This was a study I'd read a few years back, by the way. So
what have they done? They have, as you know, Michael, they have encouraged the boss bitch mentality. Every girl now wants to be a boss bitch over men.
This is what I hear, yeah.
I've seen it, man. I've been there in the trenches. They all, and what does corporate America do? If you're a white guy with 20 years of experience, they say, "Screw you. We're going to bring in the girl with 1 year experience and make her your boss." That's what they do. And then they wonder why. Then they get the guy in the HR, all these different things, and then they get him out of there. They blow him out of there, and then they bring in more DEI, more minorities, more dumbasses that don't know what they're doing. I don't care if they're purple, but a lot of these people, these corporate people, they don't know what they're doing, man. It's an ideology of diversity.
By the way, I did see the boss bitch thing in real time a few years back. As for those who don't know, I at times when I want to, I will work as a audio engineer. Something I don't really talk about here on this program or really relay that out there to people, but I will right now just because you mentioned it. But I was a part of a pretty large project, and sure enough, they brought in a boss bitch to supervise us, by the way. And she had basically no experience or knew anything about audio, by the way.
That's what they do.
It was wild. So you're not lying. You're right, by the way.
Yeah, I've lived it. I've been in there before. I'm a consultant, and I've been in those cubicles downtown Phoenix, and I traveled around the country for many, many years. Chicago, Kentucky, Florida, Minnesota, all that stuff, California. And I was in offices and I saw this time and time again. Luckily, as a consultant, I was always off to the side doing my thing. But I saw the rank and file. I saw a lot of it. And I go, there's no way we can survive as a nation. We are not a serious nation, is my bottom line. We're just not. I'll jump to that. Because no serious nation would put a boss bitch in charge of people like you or me or others who has no experience in that job. It's an ideology that corporate America, they love that Obama era. They're always bringing it back. The diversity. And again, it's all against whitey, which is cut to the chase. It's against the white man especially. The white woman gets a pass because she could be a lesbo, right? But not the white man. The white man, he's a target is on his back 24/7. And that's how the white men feel. And they wonder why are all of these white guys buying guns? Well, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for why everything happens under the sun. Always a reason. You dig enough, deep enough, you'll find your answer. It's there. Things hide in plain sight, Michael. And your story is indicative of many, many people. But that's what they want. They want to bring down America. It's all designed bring down America incrementally, slowly, like a controlled demolition, like 9/11. Lucky Larry is going to get the big insurance payout. Not you, not me. He'll get it.
Oh, yes. The house always wins, as they say.
Yes.
My goodness. Well, Vaughn, I mean, my goodness, I see the time, and 2 hours just rolled by very, very quickly here. But Vaughn, I do want to thank you for being a part of the program. It's been a good show here talking to you.
It's been a blast, Michael.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. I love coming on your show. It's the best show on YouTube for sure.
It's a fun time. Vaughn, go ahead and plug anything you like.
Okay, thanks. The Vaughn Wehunt Show right now, we're on sabbatical. We will be coming back in the fall and winter of this year. We were on, you can find our episodes on the internet. Just type in the Vaughn Wehunt Show. Also, my book, The Bachelor's Guide to the Galaxy, all about what's going on in America right now. It's a hit book. Good times. And Michael, again, thanks for everything. Been a wonderful night, man.
Absolutely, my friend. And yes, I will talk to you on the other side.
Got it.
Have a good one, man. Be safe out there.
I will. Thanks, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And there he goes, boys and girls. That was my guest, Mr. Vaughn Wehunt. Definitely go check out his program out there. Go look him up. And you'll find a lot of material from Vaughn out there over the years as well. A lot of good stuff. And man, yes, the time really, really rolled on through. And yes, I apologize. We had a few other people here that were supposed to be on with us. They just disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. Mike was supposed to be here, but I believe he got busy or something. But we'll figure it out. He'll be back. Don't worry. He'll be back. Daniel will be back. Everybody will be back eventually here in due time. And yes, just to make a small correction here, it wasn't something the guest said on the last show that got the episode pulled off. It was actually by a caller, I believe. But I need to go back and look into it. Maybe I might be wrong. There's actually a warning there on the JW Tube. I got an email actually specifically on what it was, but I have not really looked into it that closely as I should have. But either way, that's that's just what we deal with here behind the scenes. Not a big issue. It just happens every now and then. You get passionate about whatever it is on your mind. People say anything here on this program. And unfortunately, there are consequences to some of the things that we say here on the air. And yes, I got a bit of a slap on the wrist there at the last episode. So that's why it's been removed. But the good news, there's some good news, don't worry. The good news is that you could always rely on the podcast platform and go there. Wherever you listen to podcasts, basically you could find this program by searching the Michael Decon program. And yes, you will find last night's program, by the way. Matter of fact, I'm glad we were on tonight here. Reminds me of old times being on at this hour on a Saturday night. It just feels right. At least it does to me, by the way. It all feels right. And tonight felt very good. I felt very nice here, but yes. You hear that music, that means it is time to get the hell on out of here. You gotta feed the cats. I don't hear them, but I'll hear them pretty soon. They eat like 5 times a day, by the way. Is that normal? Do you have a cat out there? Is your cat eating 5 meals a day like mine is? It's a goddamn tragedy. But that's the reality we live in, folks. And living is very expensive. We are $1 trillion in debt. No hope for us. But it's your job to stay positive, though, through it all, by the way. And much love and respect to all of you out there who pressed play here tonight. I really, really enjoyed this one. Much love to Von Wehunt and all the great listeners out there. But yes, go to michaeldecon.com for further information on all kinds of things. And keep an eye out. We are launching the store next week. So if you are a long-time listener of this program, and many of you are, now is the time to buy some merchandise. New designs headed your way. We have some pretty awesome ones coming down here. Matter of fact, let me just show you one really quickly before we pack up and vanish. Here's a little design there for you. Yes, we have this lovely design coming to a t-shirt. By the way, nice piece of artwork. It might be altered the time you see it, but this is a bit of a rough draft here. Yes, you have the beautiful man holding a gun and a Molotov cocktail for those listening, with a bit of a mushroom cloud in the background. Good stuff there. So the design might be a little bit altered. I'm not on my main computer, but it'll look something like that on a black t-shirt. And yes, you can go to michaeldecon.com and pick yourself up one of these t-shirts. And of course, I will have the main logo as well with Japanese writing. Yes, that's for the gaijin out there. Those of you who are not partially Japanese like myself, so it works out, I promise. But yes, go to michaeldecon.com for all further information. That's where you want to go if you are a listener of this program. I'm telling you, go there, buy the merchandise. It comes out pretty good. I'm actually impressed. Need to buy myself some t-shirts myself. But yes, that's all coming down. Go to michaeldecon.com. And I am signing off, folks. I had a great time. I was here for a pretty good time. But now it's time to wind down and shut it all down. Signing off from the salt-crusted ruins of Huntington Beach, California. My name, in fact, is Michael Decon, and I will see you on the other side. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Michael Decon program.
Michael Decon knows how to hurt me. He pretends to be my friend behind the scenes, but he's doxed me. He talks shit about me constantly. He tells me the things that the voices in my head used to tell me.